Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Super-Fanta-Fi. This being a show where I talk about TV shows of the supernatural, fantasy, and/or science fictional genre. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the latest episode of Supernatural. So in this episode, we have Sam and Dean being contacted by Alicia and Max, the twin witch, slash hunters, who are, we met, earlier, a couple episodes back this season. Basically, Alicia's worried because they haven't gotten contact with their mom, Tasha, who we saw at the beginning of the episode get stabbed. Obviously, Sam and Dean come to help. I mean, originally they were trying to get in touch with Mary, but Sam and Dean were like, oh, let's help out, So they're willing, they go, and they end up running into her, but it's like, oh, she's okay. So it's like, okay, so what was that all about? Obviously, things play out, and we end up, really quickly, just running through the episode, we end up finding out that basically she is, in fact, dead. That basically the lady that's in that place, that motel, hotel, whatever the case that place may be, the inn, I assume it's more like an inn. She is basically I forgot what it was. I think they kind of ran over it at the beginning of the preview that basically there's witches who have made deals with demons. This particular witch is a very, very old witch who made a deal for power, she'd give her soul and, go to hell and everything. The fact of the matter is she doesn't want that. So what she wants instead is to kind of find a loophole around the deal, and the way she can do that is obviously the power she got is connected to the deal. So if she passes that power on to someone else, then that deal comes along with it. So she tried to do that to Tasha, Max, and Alicia's mom, but it didn't. She wasn't willing to bargain. So what this witch does is she creates straw dolls that basically she cuts out a person's heart and puts it in these straw dolls. And basically these dolls have that person's memories and everything. The only thing is, obviously the person casts a spell, that person's completely under their control. And so basically the witch is offering Max, take this ring, take the deal. Obviously you'll be able to live the rest of your life with Alicia and, your mom. Obviously it won't be your mom, but at very least you won't be able to tell the difference. But the fact of the matter is, just take this deal. You get to live out the rest of your life. Granted, at the end of it, you go to hell, but who cares? You'll have your family in full. But Dean wasn't willing to let him make that deal. Why? Because, Dean's been in that situation himself before, making deals and everything, and the ramifications for them, especially because they kind of bring up that conversation later on, because Sam and Dean, when it was all said and done, Max lost everything. His mom was dead, even a fake imitation of her was dead the moment the witch died, and Alicia got stabbed and died. So Sam and Dean wanted to kind of comfort him, but they couldn't. He was just I need to be left alone. I'll deal with this situation here. Because Sam and Dean is Dean's we've been in that situation. We've gone through hell and back to save each other. All the times they've sacrificed so much to get each other. Let's not forget, Dean made that exact choice, made that exact decision back in season 2 when Sam was originally killed. In the first half of season 2's finale. The first part of the season 2's finale, he ended up making a deal that led to the whole Lilith situation in season 3 with the whole him getting dragged to hell whole thing. So it's they know that exactly. That's just one example. They're just constantly always doing everything to save one another. So it's actually kind of sad. It gets even sadder when you look at the situation of what Max, I said, in that moment, Max lost everything, but he wasn't willing to keep that. So what he does is he cuts out Alicia's heart and he puts in the straw doll. Obviously the straw doll doesn't know about the fact that it's a doll and everything, and so he burns the body for obvious sakes. But it's obviously so that her spirit can rest, but also so that she doesn't ever come back to find out what he's done. So I'm sure eventually down the road Sam and Dean will find out what he did, but it's no, he already lost his mom. There's no bringing her back, because when the witch died, the straws disintegrated, and I'm sure the hearts within him did the same. So there's no way to bring his mom back, but he could bring Alicia back. It's like I said, he already lost his mom, he couldn't lose her too. So, and because the thing is, because Sam and Dean had brought up, Dean had brought up the fact that he looked at that family, he's they were the picture perfect family. The fact of the matter is, even though they've been through some stuff, they were still happy, able to joke around, and they had that family element. And it's they haven't had that. It's life has been pretty rough for them. It's like, even with everything they've been through, they're still like a tight-knit family. Like Sam and Dean were kind of on their own kind of for a lot of stuff, a lot of times. Even when John was there, it's not like he was 100% there. You know, it's not like they had those moments. Like things weren't as just like as happy and cheerful as it was for this family. And just in that one moment, you know, this world kind of found its way to screw up their families. Like they seemed like they were happy, they were on top of things, and it's like in that one instant, it just all turned upside down. It's almost like, I mean, and that's the mentality a lot of hunters have. It's like, you cannot have the happy life and be a hunter. That's why Mary left it all behind when she was, you know, met John and wanted to have kids and stuff like that, have a family. She had to leave it behind. But the fact of the matter is, no matter what, that life won't let you go. I mean, especially when you find, I mean, granted, the Winchester situation's on a completely different scale because that's like some cosmic level stuff in the works to kind of let things play out like that, you know? So... But still, it's just like that supernatural world finds a way to kind of find its way to you. So I'm very interested to see, like, I am trying to understand, is that something that Max did himself, or did he actually take the ring? Did he pick up the ring? Like, I think once the witch died, like, the spell was automatically unnullified. Like, the whole deal was nullified, so it's not like using a ring would work anyway. That was probably just of his own powers. Because the thing is, Alicia had brought up the fact that Tasha and Max were the magic users. She wasn't really all that gifted with magic like they were, so... And something else that kind of crossed my mind in this episode was, it made me wonder, like, when Dean saw, like, you know, like, this whole situation with the fake Tasha and everything, did it make him think about Mary or not? It's like, Mary isn't fake, but it's a very similar circumstance of, like, technically this is your mom, but technically it's not, because this is your mom who doesn't, you know, this is Mary, like, right after she had died, so it's like, but, you know, the thought is still there. It makes you wonder on some level, did Sam and Dean ever think about the fact is, like, oh yeah, here we have her, and she's like, but she's just kind of like, because the thing is, she isn't an imitation, she is really their mom, she's not some shifter, she's not some kind of monster, and in this particular case a straw doll disguise. It's like, no, this is mom, flesh and blood again, but it's still, that mentality is still there. At least that's how I saw it, and I'm very curious to find out. It's like, if anyone, especially Dean, kind of thought like that. So, because another thing that kind of came up in this episode, obviously this is picking up like right where last week's episode left off. It's like, yeah, about the whole like Castiel and Kelly situation. It's like, yeah, he's like, I looked at Castiel, that wasn't the cast. I didn't recognize the person I looked at. And, you know, Sam's kind of like, I mean, they don't know what's up with that situation. It's like, they kind of think like, oh, he's been whammied by that baby. Lucifer spawned. It's like, how could there be good? How can he have faith in that it's Lucifer's child? So it's like I said, I don't think I necessarily brought it up last episode, but the question still is, like, what did he see that instilled him with so much faith? I mean, how does he know that the baby isn't just lying to you? I mean, like, it's Lucifer's kid and everything. Lucifer's he's got a silver tongue on him. It's kind of interesting comparing this Lucifer to the other Lucifer. Like, this Lucifer is very good at lying, when the other Lucifer, like from the TV show Lucifer, not that big on lying. He actually despises people who lie, and he doesn't lie himself. He always tells the truth. Whether people believe him or not, he does, so it's just kind of interesting to me, so. I mean, we never got that perspective either. I'm sure Lucifer got the feeling when Dagon died, so, but I already went over that last episode about I'm sure he's going to get some manpower to go after them, or at the very least Crowley definitely is, and Heaven's going to come after him, but that's still a situation where it's like, yeah, like, it's like, Cass has made some mistakes in the past, but it's like, this is like, for them, it's like, this is a monumental one, because this thing is like super powerful. I mean, I guess if you put it in comparison to a lot of things, it's probably like, this is probably on the same level as him actually making the deal with Lucifer to let Lucifer inside of his vessel, you know, so I don't know. And there's also the conversation about the cult. It's like, oh, can we fix it? It's like, I don't know. I hope we can, but I mean, I knew that was going to be a conversation piece, so. But that's just one half of the episode. The other half of the episode deals with Mary. Obviously, they're dealing with a shifter at the beginning of the episode. Looks like Mary, and obviously Ketch is torturing it and everything for information. Mary's like, yeah, it's not going to give up its family, and there's no way, shape, or form is going to do that. But, I mean, I can only assume with the way things transpired that basically, finally, his torture either led to it dying, or he just outright killed the shifter. But Mary's like, what's the point in doing that? It's like, the fact of the matter is, like, this is her first time seeing that side of Mr. Ketch. This is why people keep Mr. Ketch around. He's kind of the fixer, the cleaner, and he does stuff like this. And on some level, yes, he does enjoy it, but this is Mary's first time really seeing it. It's like, Mary enjoys the thrill of the fight and the hunt and stuff like that, but not going out of the way to do something like that. She's like, she knows from personal experience. She's like, I know because I would never give up my family, so this thing has the same loyalty to its family. It might be something else, but still. Which for him is like, no, we're here to stop all the supernatural things, so it's like, whatever means we have to get the job done. It's like, the fact of the matter is, the men of letters don't BS around. We're in this to get results. And yes, pain may not work all the time, but it does work sometimes, so. But, obviously Mary gets her call from Dean. The fact is Dean's, checking in on her and everything and worried. And Mary is just it kind of put things in perspective. And Mary's just I think at that point, obviously before I get into talk about the rest of the episode, I think at that point Mary's just kind of like, yeah, she kind of saw the darker side of Man of Letters. Like, yeah, this isn't, she's like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do here. I'm going to get back to you guys. I've been away from you for too long. Like, the fact of the matter is, I love you boys. I haven't always been there for you, but I want to be there for you now. I am here for you. I love you. So. But obviously, because she had brought up the conversation too, like, oh yeah, what about Mick? I haven't heard from him. Like, he stopped sending emails. It's like, oh, he's busy, so he probably, but randomly pops up. It's like, oh, lo and behold, look, there's an email from Mick. How fortuitous. So Mary's getting very suspicious, and she looks into a box and finds Mick's dead body, and it's like, wait, okay, so what's going on here? She sneaks into a room, and lo and behold, she sees the whole situation where it's like Claire, Sam, Dean, Eileen are all being watched, and she presses and obviously hears the recording of Dean talking and stuff like that, which must mean that the men of letters also know about the whole Cassio situation. So I don't think I threw them in the loop of the whole the amount of people that would also be going after Kelly and Cassio, but now they know about that. Granted, I doubt even they could really do anything with what they have. As powerful as the Nephilim is, and as powerful as Cassio probably is now, granted, we still haven't seen the full power of what he could do, but the fact of the matter is that he could take down a prince of hell like that, kind of just shows you, he's not to be trifled with. Kind of just shows you just how powerful this baby is, too, so. Granted, we saw that before, when the baby brought Kelly back to life, it was a pulse that basically everyone in heaven felt, so. But nevertheless, Mary ends up confronting Ketch, which he doesn't deny what's going on. The fact is, he's like, yep, he was weak. Mick was weak and everything, and Mary's trying to leave, but he won't let her. And Mary and him proceed to fight at one point. It's like, yeah, he's like, oh, he's a tough guy and everything. It's like, oh, but man, Mary kicked his ass, dude. Even broke his arm at one point. I was like, yeah, get him, Mary. I was just like, kick his ass. He's kind of been asking for this for a very long time, because this dude is basically, he's been assigned to kill her, children too. So on top of that, plus all the terrible things he's done, he killed Mick. He even references the psychic girl. He killed those government agents that were left alive and everything. It's like, oh, I've been cleaning up their mess and everything. He's like, the fact of the matter is, this Hunter experiment is over. The fact of the matter is, it's all said and done. It's like, the fact of the matter is, your children do more problems than good, because they end up leaving a lot of problems in their wake. And he's basically like, hey, Mary, just come with me. Basically say, I can protect you, kind of like that his heart kind of acting out. It's like, because even at one point he's even saying oh yeah, how about we just kind of go off somewhere private and basically go at it until we kind of pass out, in which Mary was like, I could have sworn I told you that was a one-time deal, which is that's why it seemed like he was a little snappy with her in this episode too, just because it's because obviously the last time they left off, it's he had the feeling he wanted more, and she did. She's like, yeah, this is kind of a one-time deal. I'm not built for this, which, like I say, he thought he found like I brought up before, he thought he found a kindred spirit in Mary. Turns out not to be the case, because Mary isn't the same person as him. Yeah, Mary might get a thrill from the hunt and stuff like that, but it still doesn't change the fact that Ketch is kind of on a whole nother level. But as I brought up previously, during that exact situation, it's like, Ketch, when it came to mentioning his past and stuff like that, because Mary had brought up, oh, how do you you both went to the same school. I was like, yeah, things weren't kind of exactly easy. And it's like, Ketch is only the way he is now because of the British men of letters and stuff like that. Their tactics and way of going about things, needing almost monsters. They need monsters to fight other monsters. And it's just like, it's so interesting that they can't see the blurred lines between it, separate them. It's like not all monsters are bad. And it's like, but the fact is their unwillingness to see it, because in Mr. Ketch's words, it's like compassion isn't something they need. They need warriors, they need fighters, they need killers. And so it's kind of sad that he was built this way, because who's to say who he would be? I mean, maybe he would have, if things were different, maybe he'd think the same way Mick did, but, So Mary tries to warn Dean at the end of the episode. All she is able to do is get out the sign word that, like, hey, it's not good. I mean, like I said, like, Mary ended up kicking his ass. I love at one point she pulls out some brass knuckles. He's like, yeah, those only work on an angel, right? And I think she hit him in the nuts and then punched him in the face. He's like, yeah, but they're still brass knuckles, idiot. And then as she's about to walk away, it's like, yeah, gets tased in the back. I'm like, even when she wakes up later on, she's like, oh, that's not fair. And so basically Ketch is like, the fact of the matter is that, like, Mary's like, if you're going to kill me, go ahead and do it. Which at that point I was like, I saw someone touching the phone because Dean was calling. I was like, yeah, go and make a threat. It's like, oh, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to kill your sons. But lo and behold, who is it? I keep forgetting her name, but obviously we haven't seen her since like the beginning of the season when she got pulled out of America. But the actress who played Valerie in the Vampire Diaries, she's back, and she's like, oh, we're not going to kill you, Mary. You're too much of a valuable asset. So what I can assume is they're going to do the whole situation with Mary like they did with Sam at the beginning, where she's going to interrogate him and try and find out. Like, obviously, Mr. Ketch has already kind of done everything, like to kind of research the family, find out more about them. And I'm guessing the same thing is going to apply in this particular case. Probably dive a little deeper, learn more about Mary and why she does the things she does. Also probably like find out more about her particular circumstances of how she's still alive and stuff like that. And she never originally got an answer for that, but Mr. Ketch is there, so I'm sure he's going to be administering the torture and stuff like that. And as we've seen, he can be very, very torturous. And the question is, like, how much will his heart affect things or not? Will he be able to completely shut his heart off when it comes to having to do what he has to do to Mary next episode? And what does it mean for Sam and Dean going forward? Like, obviously this means they're going to have to butt heads with the Men of Letters. So how that will transpire, I don't know. We would just have to wait till the next episode to find out. Overall, very good episode. Wasn't expecting this to be the circumstances where the truth kind of came out, that Mary kind of found everything out. Wasn't expecting her to be the one to kind of find it out. I'm sure it was going to be Sam and Dean, and then they try to get her away. But it's like, no, Mary's the first one to find out, so now they have to go try and save her. I mean, like I said, they're not going to kill her, but they probably will torture her, so I guess we'll see whether or not Mr. Ketch has any redeeming qualities at all, because at the very least, he may be kind of the quote-unquote monster he is, but at the very least, we do see he has some heart, with the fact is that he fell for Mary. But once again, it's just because he thought that, oh, I'm kind of messed up like I am, so Mary is too. Which Mary's got her own issues, sure, I mean, but her issues are very different from his. It's like, yeah, I came back from the dead, and like my children are fully grown, and like this, I'm part of a world that I don't belong in. Which to me, it seems like from the very beginning, it seems like to me they're setting this up so that Mary dies again. I don't know under what circumstances, whether she sacrifices herself or whatever the case may be, but I feel like it's not going to be a situation where Mary stays around. Whether she dies at the end of the season, whether it's like a Men of Letters end up killing her, and now like Sam and Dean full on blown are ready for war against them. So, because we still have yet to actually meet a lot of like the Men of Letters. We've only met like a few members, and on top of that, like, because obviously there's like higher up, so the elders of it, the Men of Letters. So, like I said, we'll just kind of hopefully get some answers in next week's episode. But really, that's all I want to talk about in this episode. To the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.